Through storms, unshaken, unbowed. Through trials and verdicts, still standing proud. A titan in the tempest, against the raging crowd. He's got a vision for the future, gonna shout it aloud. Changing the wind, it's coming fast. A new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key. Make the big switch. Power to the people. Time to teach the rich. Legal battles can't hold him. He's moving on. With plans so bold, from dusk till dawn. He's rewriting the rules. A new dawn's day. From the hands of the few to the people's way. Say goodbye to all chains. Embrace the new.
Welcome. Good morning to everyone out there. I hope everyone is having an awesome Trump day. I am Zester, and welcome to the Crazy Cryptonaut channel. I will go ahead and say, guys, today is going to be a very short stream because the midnight airdrop, the airdrop that will be applying for XRP holders, Bitcoin holders, Ethereum holders, Cardano holders, Avalanche holders, Basic Attention Token holders, and I think one or two that I'm missing right off the top of my head will all have been qualified if you had over $100 in whatever that cryptocurrency wallet was on June 11th. You will be able to go in and claim the midnight airdrop. And so this airdrop is going to be going on for 60 days. And so there's no rush, but I need to go and start making videos to show everyone how to go through and claim, depending upon which wallet they have, which crypto they have, etc., etc. And so today will be a shorter one, but thank you guys so much for joining. And we're still going to go through a little news and answer some questions and actually look a little bit at what the midnight airdrop entails, because I think once you see it, you'll see why I'm worried about making a bunch of videos to show everyone how to get through it, because it's going to be more complicated than I would have personally liked or appreciated, depending upon which crypto you have and what wallet you have it in. But we'll get into that one. We will get into that one. First off, most importantly, need to say hellos, and then we'll jump into our quick news update and quick Q&A. I would say, guys, probably going to be 20-30 minutes on the stream today. That way I can jump right into recording some of those tutorials. But what's up, Kukla? Happy Trump Day to you. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Trump Day to you, Mile High Trish. And thank you so much, Trish, for actually shooting me the text message yesterday, letting me know that the Midnight Airdrop webpage had updated. Trish was the first one to find it. Thank you so much for that. Mile High Trish. What's up, Crypto Warden? Howdy. What's up, Captain Spiffy? Kukla, we need a hello from Tina and Tommy. We do. Maybe I'll go grab them today. That'd be a good thing. They need to make an appearance on this Trump Day. Grandma Sally, hello from Virginia Beach. Hello, Grandma Sally. I've been there quite a few times. Virginia Beach is definitely an awesome area. Samuel Worley, hey, Zester, give us some good news. Sam, the good news is if you were an XRP holder on June 11th, or a Bitcoin or an Ethereum or any of those other cryptocurrencies, you're going to get some free crypto in the form of midnight. That's my good news of the morning. I would say, guys, we don't know how much it's actually going to be. It may be pennies. But I never say no to something that is being given out for free. And also, it's going to be an awesome learning experience, and you never know. It could end up being worth far more than the general cost of taking the time to get them claimed. So we'll find out together on that front. But I hope you're having an awesome Trump Day, Sam. What's up, Deborah? Good morning, LG lady. Very important one here, Kukla21. Thank you, Kukla, for making certain I get this. Please do remember that the content in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes and is not intended to provide financial advice. Please consult with a financial professional before making investment decisions. Absolutely. Crypto Warden, I could not get Ledger to connect to the airdrop. Crypto Warden, that is going to be one of the things that that we're going to need that tutorial video for, because yes, it's going to be a little bit different with the way they have it set up, depending upon whether you're on a hardware wallet, on a software wallet, on a Ledger versus a Trezor, where we're going to see a lot of the technical workarounds are going to have to come in, because we're likely going to actually need to use a wallet connection on our Ledger in order to be able to sign it. That's where one of those videos is going to come into effect, is showing people how to connect a hardware wallet actually to a software wallet without revealing the information about the hardware wallet itself. And so it's a very interesting one. It's a very useful skill to have. And so we're actually going to, in one of the tutorial videos, I'll be showing people how to take their Ledger hardware wallet and actually use a connection interface through a wallet like MetaMask in order to be able to use their Ledger to actually sign a transaction that is specifically in the decentralized finance space. And so it is. Crypto Warden, I was not the happiest to see how complicated it's going to be, because it's going to require a lot of videos, mainly just because there's going to be somebody who's on Xammon. If you're on Xammon with your XRP, this is about to be very easy. And so the Xammon users are going to get a super easy option as an XRP holder. Bitcoin holders on Ledger are going to get an easy solution. Ethereum holders on Ledger are going to get an easy solution. But certain different cryptos on different wallets are going to be more complicated. They are. Gary7, good morning, Zester. Welcome, Gary. And Gary says, just a note that I appreciate what you do. Oh, thank you, Gary. Thank you so much for joining. And I appreciate what you do by bringing so much levity and quality, clever jokes to our stream. So thank you for that. Deborah Muse Wolf, question: if those tokens are in my Roth IRAs, would I contact those custodians? That's a very interesting question, Deborah. I would assume you would have to contact them, because ultimately they're the only ones who would be capable of going in and claiming the airdrop. Ultimately, they're the ones who are currently holding the keys. They hold the wallet. They would be the only ones who could make that claim. So I think you would need to send them a message, Deborah. I'm not certain what they're going to say, though. I think that they're going to want to claim it, because they're going to want to keep, free money. They got to claim those tokens based off of your crypto. And so they're probably going to want to claim them. Are they going to want to hand them over, though? I'm not certain. No, definitely keep us up to date on that one, Deborah. I'd be very curious to hear what they say back when you point it out to them. You say, hey, this occurred. I had crypto sitting inside of your fund during June 11th, aka part of my crypto earned part of this airdrop. When do I expect to receive my midnight tokens from you? In all honesty, they should be yours, Deborah. So I'm curious. Steve Knoll, I'm brand new here. Welcome, Steve. Well, you came to the right place, and happy to help you on your crypto journey. Or if you're already an old hat on it, happy to talk shop. All right. Yeah, Musical Lady, thanks, Trish, for spotting Midnight Airdrop. Absolutely. I think Trish saw it the second that it popped up on the site. All right. I just saw a great question and now I lost it. Where'd it go? All right. Zester, LG Lady, how many coins can go on a Ledger Nano Plus? Okay. LG Lady, the storage on your Nano S Plus is not used on the crypto. And so the answer is you could have all of the crypto on your Ledger, essentially, LG Lady. There's no worry there. Where data or memory space capacity becomes important is with those apps that you download through Ledger Live. And so let me actually pull that one up real quick, and I'll show you exactly what I mean when I say those apps. Because that's what's using it up. It's when you download the Bitcoin app or the Ethereum app or the Paraswap app because you want to be able to swap on your device. That's when suddenly you've changed the conversation, and now you're actually storing data on your ledger. So when you come over to like Discover, and we've got these apps that you can download. You can use Stater Labs, or you can use Lido or 1inch. These are going to require you to download an application onto your actual ledger. And so they're going to use up some of that space. But your crypto itself is not actually on your ledger. It is just your safety deposit key to access it. Your crypto never leaves the blockchain, and so you never have an issue when it comes to memory on your specific device. But if you wanted to download every app that Ledger ever puts out, you could end up running out of space. All right, Steve Knoll, is XLM backed by gold and is XRP backed by silver? Steve, they are not currently backed by gold or silver. And so there is an ongoing, and this belief has been out there for a long time, that XLM is backed by silver and XRP is backed by gold. Now, there is a kernel of truth here, though. And so what is the true thing in this is that XLM and XRP are focused on tokenizing gold and silver. And that means they're planning on releasing products, releasing a way that you could buy a cryptocurrency that is 100% backed by gold or silver or a combo of the two, etc. And so that's where that truth is, Steve, is that yes, they are working on creating currencies that are backed by gold and silver on the Stellar and on the XRP ledger. And so that is very, very true. That is publicly available knowledge. But as of right now, they are not backed by precious metals. So that one's just a good one to know, but it's still very exciting, Steve. Essentially, it's an important distinction, but it's still very exciting because ultimately, you're going to need XLM, you're going to need XRP in order to interact and tokenize these different digital representations of real world assets. And that's why these blockchains are so exciting, Steve. It's because real world tokenization market is going to hit many, many trillions of dollars in valuation in the coming years. Expectations, even from the likes of JP Morgan, are that it could hit as high as $10 trillion by early 2030s in terms of a market. Right now, that market is valued in the billions, not in the trillions. And so when we start to talk about the price, the upside potential for XLM and XRP as tokenization continues to grow and they're at the forefront of tokenization, well, the sky really is the limit in that regard. And so I'm very, very excited for their tokenization of gold and silver there, Steve. Particularly excited. Mile High Trish, Ledger Nano Plus allows for a max of 100 apps. Yep. And I don't even know if there are 100 apps available yet at this point. I've never taken the time to count all the different app options on Ledger. But yeah, it really is not too much of a worry. And there's actually somewhere on your Ledger Live where you can look and see how much space you have left on your current device. I believe when you're plugged in, if you go to My Ledger, that you would be able to actually see how much space you have for more apps. But yeah, no, Trish, I think Trish is totally right on that one. Doubtful that you're going to end up needing all that space. Maybe though, who knows in the future, we may be buying upgraded ledgers with more memory as the world continues to evolve and more of these applications come out that simplify essentially the entire process. It may, who knows? All right, Deborah Muse will follow up. I did receive the Flare token airdrop in my IRA because I was an XRP holder back in the day and still am. That is very, very cool, Deborah. In that case, I would feel I would feel pretty good about your chance of receiving your midnight tokens. I would make certain to contact them, and even when you do, give them a Cardano wallet address, and so literally say, hey, get a wallet that will allow you to hold midnight token, which is going to be a Cardano based one. Get that, and then literally send them your wallet address and be like, hey guys, I'm waiting for you to go ahead and deposit me my midnight tokens. Maybe go ahead and just take the questions out of it. Be like, here's the wallet. Here's where you deposit it. I know that it's active. Send it to me. All right. Okay. Whimsical Winters. I missed the whole airdrop qualification thing. I am glad that you brought that one up. And so let's get our page back up here. And let's talk about that one in particular. And so where it really came down to was, all right here, we've got the general breakdown. And so if you on June 11th, and so we're having to rewind the clock a little bit, June 11th, going on about 2 months from today, if you had $100 of value of ADA Cardano in a Cardano wallet, if you had $100 of value of Bitcoin in a Bitcoin wallet, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BNB, Avalanche, or BAT, Basic Attention Token, inside of a wallet that you own, then you qualified for free midnight tokens as a part of the airdrop. And so this is anybody who held $100 of value of any of these cryptocurrencies in their wallet on June 11th. If that is the case, then you have qualified for the midnight airdrop, what they are calling the Glacier drop. This will be the first opportunity for anyone to acquire the midnight coin. And the midnight coin is actually very interesting in that there is no way to buy it ahead of time. The only way you can get it is by being a holder of other cryptocurrencies. And so in that way, they are having an entirely fair distribution. Now, if you had more XRP than someone else, you are expected to get more midnight coin. So in that regard, there will be those who get more than others. But ultimately, the idea here was that you couldn't buy it. You can't just buy it. Now, as soon as it goes live, it will be for sale and people will be able to buy it from you, from everyone else that has it out there, and it will become a publicly traded cryptocurrency at that point. But until it goes live, the only way to get it is to go through this airdrop process. And so if you were one of those 3 or one of those 8 different cryptocurrencies on June 11th with $100 of value in your wallet, and you are the owner of the wallet, aka you have the keys to the wallet, then you are now able to go through and start claiming your airdrop. And so let's go right over here. How to make a Glacier drop claim. We're not going to go through and do this live. I'm going to record it because that way everybody can go back and forth. That way I can verify every single thing I say and make certain that we don't have any issues. But for right now, we'll just look at a little bit of what is going on and why these videos are going to be so important. Because I think it'll become very obvious why you're going to want videos, or why most people are going to want simplified tutorial videos for this when you start to see what's going on. Okay. And so they gave a little information here. They attempted to go through and prove the different ways that they were capable of claiming it as the developers on Cardano's side. So making a Glacier drop claim takes place through the Night Claim portal. The Night Claim portal is only optimized for and intended to be used via a web browser on a desktop or laptop computer. Okay. The vast majority of verified wallets were only tested in their browser extension version, with the exception of XRP claims via Xamin. Mobile wallet support has not been tested or verified. Now, that said, since the portal also employs Wallet Connect /reown, the claim process may also be compatible with a number of mobile or standalone desktop wallets. Whatever the case, the Night Claim portal must still be accessed via a web browser on a desktop or a laptop computer. Now, that was a bit of a kicker right there. that they had not mentioned before was that it was going to require, depending upon how you're claiming it, it may require a desktop or a laptop. This depends on which wallet and which crypto you are a holder of. So otherwise, though, the process is going to be fairly simple from a distant perspective. You're going to go to the night portal. You're going to enter the origin address. You're going to enter the destination address. So the origin address is going to be the wallet that had $100 on June 11th on whatever blockchain it's on, XRP, Ledger, Ethereum blockchain, whatever. And then the destination address is going to be your new Cardano wallet where you want this night token to show up to. Now you will then sign a transaction on that wallet, that origin address. And so that's where it's going to get complicated. It's going to be based off the origin address. And that's where you're going to see a lot of my little videos are going to be specifically about that. And as you can see here, what we have right here is the verified wallets and compatibility as they have done it. And so if you'll see for BNB/Binance, we have on the hardware wallet Ledger. And so we know that it's going to be pretty darn easy to sign for our BNB chain via Ledger. Bitcoin, we have Ledger and it's native. It's going to be particularly easy. We have on Ethereum, we have Ledger via Wallet Connect, still going to be pretty easy. Again, with Ethereum, Solana, we have via Wallet Connect, not going to be hard. XRP, though, we have Zamin. And so it appears as if Zamin is going to be the easiest wallet to claim through in regards to XRP, but I have got a lot of exploring to do. And so this is why we're going to have a few different videos come out, is because, well, different wallets are going to have a different process in order to claim. Some wallets are going to need to connect through MetaMask via their hardware wallet. Some are not. So it's going to be a little complicated. Don't worry, though, guys. The videos are going to come out, and they're going to show you how to go through and do it. So do not rush. And remember, guys, we have 60 days to make this claim, and so we're not in a hurry. We have 60 days. It doesn't matter if we claim today or if we claim 60 days from now. Ultimately, we get our tokens, we get our coins, and we get the same amount we would have gotten no matter which time we choose. So we're not in a rush, but I know that people are going to be in a rush because they're going to want to go ahead and knock it out. They're going to want to see those tokens, those coins, they're coming their way in the future. And they're going to want to know how much of the midnight token did they end up getting. So I know folks are going to be in a rush, but we don't need to be in a rush. All right. Let me get some more questions answered, and then I will be running off pretty quickly to go start making those videos. So I'm going to go through, answer some questions, look at one or two articles, and then I am going to run off and start making tutorials showing people how to go through and claim. Okay, Rich Roper, I bought XRP on Coinbase. It is still on Coinbase. Set up bank on Plaid. If I sell any, do the funds just go back to the same account drawn onto bot? Great question, Rich. And so when you go through and you sell on Coinbase, so say you sell XRP for USD, US dollars. When you do that, you are going to then have that US money, that is dollars, are going to be in your Coinbase account. You are going to have to tell Coinbase, send those US dollars back to that bank account that you connected via Plaid. And so that's a great question, Rich. It's not going to automatically come back to your bank account. You're going to have to tell it to. But it will be very easy and it's free to withdraw that money to your bank account. So, Rich, you don't have anything to worry about on that side. But you do have, however long the bank decides to wait and take their, sweet time about it until that money's going to pop up in your Wells Fargo or whatever it is, that whoever it is you bank with. So definitely a good question because, yeah, I could see folks getting a little confused. If you went through and sell, you would need to make certain that you then withdrew it to your bank account after you do so. All right. Let's look at our articles there real quick because we do have a few interesting ones. All right. Is BlackRock dumping millions in BTC and Ethereum on the move as ETF losses deepen? We talked about this one on Monday. BlackRock owned wallets have recently moved 2,544 Bitcoin and 101,975 Ethereum to Coinbase Prime. These are typically viewed as an indication that they intend to sell. And so that is around $292 million of Bitcoin and $372 million of Ethereum, respectively, that it appears BlackRock ETFs intend to sell in the coming days or weeks or etc. On Monday, we had talked about this. We had 15 straight weeks of positive inflows from ETFs. We had seen the new all-time high for Bitcoin during this time, etc., etc. A lot of price volatility, a lot of upward price volatility. And so naturally, we're starting to see some of the ETFs take profits. I'm not really very surprised here, but this is something that you're going to hear about in the news, and it does spook the market when you see massive amounts of crypto moving from these ETFs over into exchange accounts, because we know from long-standing, if you're planning on selling, you're going to move your money to an exchange. And because of the blockchain, we can see that. And so we know that people with lots of money are planning on selling. We don't know when. We don't know if they ever even will. They may just remove it after a little time and never do anything with it. But that tends to not be the case. Most of the time, if money is moved to an exchange, it's because they intend to sell it. And in the inverse, if crypto is removed from exchanges and moved to hardware wallets, that's viewed as a sign that they don't plan on selling it anytime soon. So in that regard, it does affect the market. It does affect investor sentiment. Ultimately, though, it's not very unexpected that BlackRock ETF would be having some outflows right now, as folks did just make a lot of money in a very short amount of time. And so they're taking profits, they're withdrawing. Ultimately, 15 straight weeks of massive multi-billion-dollar positive net inflows. This is a drop in the bucket. 292 million and 372 million, even over $500 million. It is honestly a drop in the bucket compared to the amount of money that flowed into these ETFs over the past 15 consecutive weeks. So expect to hear about it in the markets. Expect for them to be folks that get worried about things like this, but ultimately it's very, very normal. Yes, it could result in the market in a short term going down as folks kind of over worry, but ultimately it's going to rebound. Over $500 million seems like a lot, and I'd love to have that much money, but in the grand scope of cryptocurrency, it really is. It's really not that much money. All right, though. Our last article before I'm going to run off. Tokenized stocks rise 220% in July, reminiscent of early DeFi boom. Tokenized stocks are nearing an inflection point that may lead to a 1.3 trillion market opportunity, according to Binance Research. Tokenized stocks, guys, they're going to tokenize literally everything. When I say everything, I'm really not being facetious. I mean everything. They are going to take anything on this planet that they can find, and they're going to tokenize it. Because if they can tokenize it, then they can create a value to it. And so ultimately, tokenized stocks appear to be massively, massively booming right now. We see the same thing in stablecoins, which is really just a tokenized US dollar. We see the same thing happening with Tether Gold, which is currently skyrocketing in terms of adoption, which is, what is that? But tokenized gold. And so we're seeing a massive, massive increase and interest in the tokenized space. Real world assets tokenized on blockchains. And this is why it's so exciting to be at this point in time and to be a holder in cryptocurrencies that are in that space, because it's not just that the tokenized stock market is going to be $1.3 trillion, according to Binance Research. Well, the tokenized gold market's going to be trillions. The tokenized silver is going to be trillions. The tokenized real estate is going to be trillions. The tokenized US treasuries is already billions. And so This is just one of the different variables, one of the other tokenized real world assets that we're going to see make up this new financial system where everything will be tokenized, everything. And that's I know that's very kind of scary to imagine at this point in time, but it's very exciting also as we move towards a world where we'll be able to actually prove what we own ourselves, not because the bank or the government says so. So with all of that, I'm going to run off and jump on getting some videos made for everybody in terms of claiming. I'll probably start with the easy ones and then work my way towards the hard ones. I'm not certain. We'll see. We'll see. But I would expect at least one video of those tutorials to come out today. Maybe more coming out tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll have all of them knocked out in the next day or so. At least all the ones that I can figure out fairly quickly. I'll have those videos out to y'all in the next 48 hours or so. If I end up with a bunch, I might space them out a little bit, just so that everybody's YouTube feed doesn't end up getting a avalanche of short crypto tutorial videos. I may space them out, but we will see. Needless to say, I'll let Kukla and Mile High Trish know so that they can say something in Telegram or something of that nature whenever those first videos are planning on going up. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go grab a Tino real quick and see if I can't get some kitty cats to say hello, and then we will we'll say goodbye with a kitty with us. All right, we got one Tino. We got one Tino. And I woke him up too. Sorry, buddy. I just brought you to say hello and goodbye to everybody. You haven't come by and stopped in a while. All right, though, guys. I'm going to go jump on it, give Tino some more attention, and love you all. I will see you all tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Whiskey and Wisdom over on the original Mark Z channel. Also, by the way, guys, if y'all are interested in joining. But otherwise, love you all. See you guys very, very soon. Peace, guys.